Hey, I'm Kirkpatrick, the Safe Bet Money Guy, teaching the secrets of the wealthy to the movers and shakers of the world so they can avoid the stock market casino and gamble-proof their life. Now, this video, I want to get into the 3 stages that every single person who wants to achieve true wealth needs to go through. Before I get into that though, I want to tell you, one of the biggest questions, one of the topics that people ask me all the time as a financial coach is, how come no matter what I'm doing, how come no matter what action I take, no matter how much I try to invest, and no matter what decision I make financially, as responsible as I'm trying to be, how come I can't get ahead? How come I feel like I can barely keep my nose above the water? And this right here, this video is going to answer all of that. If you feel like that's you, if you feel like you constantly are running out of money before you run out of month, and if you feel like no matter what you're doing, you can barely keep your nose above the water and you need a snorkel, I'm telling you right now, this video is for you. So I'm going to go through the 3 stages that if you want to achieve true wealth, if you want financial freedom, you need to follow these guidelines. You need to understand these principles because they are essential to you getting to where you want to go. So I'm going to rip through them really quick and then I'll go through and summarize them. The first step is you're going to go through an addition phase. The second step is you're going to go through a multiplication phase. And the third step is you're going to hit a compounding phase. And that's where financial freedom occurs in your life. And that's where you actually can retire. That's where no matter what you have, nobody is going to be able to tell you what you can or can't do with your money. Money is not even going to be an object anymore. And you're going to be more focused on the impact that you can make in the world than you are on just making money and being able to get by and survive. You're going to be thinking about how can you help the world thrive. And one of the challenges that I find is that people try to hit the compounding phase way too early. And the reason is because we've been taught the younger we are, the more risk we can take. Unfortunately, that myth that you've been taught is actually one of the things that's holding you back. And I guess it's got a ring of truth to it because I'd rather lose a lot of money when I'm 30 than when I'm 65 for sure, because I got more time to make it up and I have more learning to do and I can go out and I can create. But the bottom line is that if you want to be able to achieve compounding, the last thing you can do is lose money, because the only way to achieve true wealth is to have uninterrupted compounding work in your favor. And every time you have a big loss, what's that do? That interrupts compounding. So stage 1, addition. You're going to go through this addition phase. What does that look like in your life? Well, first of all, it's saving before you invest. So when you save, what are you doing? You're showing that you are disciplined. You're showing you have the ability to delay gratification. You're showing that you are able to, you're in a position, I should say, where you want to learn the principles of how money works. You're willing to wait for the right time, and you're willing to leverage and position your assets in such a way that you're willing to put yourself in a position where when the opportunity hits you, when the time is right for you to strike, you have enough money on the sideline to take advantage of it. Because the reality is that there's an old adage, there's an old phrase that people like to use that says cash is king. Well, I'm going to argue with that a little bit and say cash is no longer king in today's current economic environment, because with interest rates as low as they are, money is so cheap, it doesn't always make sense to pay for cash. But here's what I'll say: access to cash is king, and the money makes money. The rich get richer because they have access to capital, they have access to cash. So by saving, by going through the addition phase and understanding that it's going to take time, right? Because when you add, it takes longer to build up than it does to multiply. But if you can save, and if you can go through that addition phase and you can build your foundation, then even though it's going to be hard, even though it's going to take a lot more effort, even though your friends may look at you and laugh and say, you know what, man, why are you doing that when I've got my money going into the market? I tell you what, the next time there's a financial crash, there's a financial correction, you're going to be laughing. You're going to be the one rolling all the way to the bank and making a ton of money on investments that you were able to put your money into that nobody else you know was able to touch, because you have access to cash and because you were the one who was able to delay gratification and wait for the time that was right for you, so you could invest in something that only you understand, or that at least that you understand, period. The second phase is the multiplication phase. Now, once you go through the addition phase, now you can start taken that money, that's where you leverage it a little bit. You can leverage your money that you saved up and built up your foundation, and you can buy real estate, you can buy a business, you can invest it in stocks, you can invest it in whatever you want. I don't care. Go buy cars, go and flip cars. Whatever it is that you are uniquely exceptional at, reinvest it in your business. If you could be an electrician, a plumber, you could sell cars, you could do whatever you want. Take that money and invest it into yourself. I guarantee you, if you have any drive at all, you have more of an ability to create a more guaranteed rate of return on your own money than any investment out there in the world in the stock market. So that's where the multiplication phase comes in. And I also want to say this, is that if you focus on doing the addition phase before the multiplication phase, if you save before you start trying to take some big swings and invest and try to make your money multiply for you, it allows you to take some big swings and miss and not decimate your life, not decimate your finances. And that is so essential, because what people usually do is they jump right for the multiplication or compounding phase and they take these big swings. Maybe they save a little bit of money, but then they put everything they have on one bet and they miss and they have to start over. And that takes years to actually come back from. And all it takes is, if you do this improperly, you can get into 2, 3, 4 investments and lose. If you lose 3 out of 4, your whole retirement plan, your whole future, everything that you're working towards can just go up in flames. So that's that. Now, the third phase is the compounding phase. And the reality, like I said, if you stay in the multiplication phase long enough, you're gonna wind up in the compounding phase. It's a byproduct of being in the multiplication phase long enough. It takes a little while to get out of the addition phase, and once you're in the multiplication phase, that's where your life really starts to change. That's where you start seeing income generating. That's where you start building your assets after you've built your foundation. And the compounding phase is simply saying, listen, this is where true wealth exists, because now you don't just have money freedom, you have time freedom, you have assets that are working for you, you have a lifestyle that goes along with the money. It's not just about being rich. It's about being able to have the money, have the life, have the houses, have the cars, have the family, have the time. And time is the only asset we can never get back. And so it gives you all of that. It's the full package. And that is the power if you follow it step by step by step. And the challenge, most people try to go right to the compounding phase, as I said. And so just make sure, if you want to achieve true wealth, you got to go through the 3 stages of achieving true wealth in order, right? And just to recap, first and foremost, you need to save before you invest. You need to build your foundation of security. You need to make sure that your financial life, your assets, your family, your business, you need to make sure all of that is insulated and protected. And you do that by building your financial foundation up. The second phase is multiplication. And here's what I'll say. If you do the first phase properly, then the second phase, Warren Buffett said it the best: only invest in what you know. Only invest in what you know. If you don't know it, don't put your money there, right? So just understand that. I'm not telling you what's good or what's bad. What's good is different for everybody. A good investment is different for me than it is for you, because you have different bases of understanding. You have different expertise sets and skills that make you exceptional in different areas than I'm exceptional. But just know this: save your money and invest in yourself, because the best investment you're gonna make is in yourself, because you have more of an ability to take your money and create a better rate of return with it than any mutual fund, than any stock, than any investment virtually that you can make in the world, by just saving your money, waiting for the right time, and investing in what you know. And that Warren Buffett said it: only invest in what you know. So, and then the third phase, once you do that, is compounding. You go addition, multiplication, compounding. It just has to go in order. You try to skip the process, you're gonna get burned. So I hope this helps. I hope this added value. If you have any questions, if you want any more detailed information, we have all sorts of great free content and on LIFE180.com. And here's what I'm gonna tell you right now, is that if you're still thinking, you know what, this seems like amazing information, it makes sense, it's logical, I still don't understand what to do, we have a program. It's called the LIFE180 Roadmap to Financial Success. And you can go to LIFE180Roadmap.com and you can check the course out. Right now, it's a 90-day money-back guarantee on the course. And I tell you what, it walks you through. It's a 9-module course that will walk you through step by step with worksheets and videos and everything. It takes the thinking right out of all your decision making. If you're a hustler, if you're a grinder, if you're somebody who has big dreams, aspirations, yet you just don't know why you can't make it work, if money is the thing that's holding you back, then it's all about financial structure. It truly is. All these great people out there in the world, the Grant Cardones of the world, the Gary Vaynerchuks, the Brendon Burchards, all that, they are amazing, amazing, amazing people that are making huge, huge differences in the world. The challenge is that I find is that so many people want to go out and hustle, they want to grind, they want to accomplish all this great stuff, but then they miss the boat because they don't know what to do, the technicals, the ins and outs, what to do with their money. And that's what the Life 180 Roadmap to Financial Success course is all about. So please go check it out, life180roadmap.com. Feel free to email me, roadmap@life180.com, if you have any questions. But check it out. And until next time, live abundantly, live efficiently, live Life 180. Take care.